It's Gabby. If you're new here, hello and welcome back to my channel. 2025 has started off with a big no buy movement, and I feel like the trend of the no buy / low buy has completely taken off, with lots of people wanting to cut back on their material spending and being more mindful and intentional with their purchases. While I personally don't believe in a strict no buy rule, I did want to also jump on the trend of being reflective, and I do want to be more intentional with my spending in 2025. I think the no buy mindset can be very tricky for some people because it is a very all or nothing mindset, where I think being just more intentional and more mindful about your purchases would have a lot more power than just cutting things out completely. Now, if that works for you, then that's great, but personally I feel like that's always a habit that, you always start strong in January of the year and, kind of tapers off. But I think being more mindful and more conscious and intentional with spending can be something that I can sustain throughout 2025. With that, I've created a list of things that I kind of want to not buy, low buy, or intentionally buy throughout 2025. Let's jump right into it. The first one being skincare. I have so many products right now in my bathroom, skincare related, just like serums and lotions and face wash and face masks, that I really need to use a lot of this stuff up before it expires. I don't really want to purchase any skincare items unless I am out of something completely. Like if I'm out of face lotion completely, then obviously I'm going to go buy some more, or like face wash or something. But first I want to ensure that I'm using up every single product that I have. I have so many face lotions, so I don't even know if I'm going to be able to use them all up in the year. For me, just cutting back on so much skincare. I really don't need anything else. I am also very lucky because I do YouTube and sometimes I do get sent products for free. I feel like they've just kind of accumulated that I don't need to go out and buy more or try new products. At this point, I really want to try and use up some of my products and minimize the clutter in my bathroom. And I think that alone in itself will help kind of create a more mindful space and something that I really want to try and do for 2025. So kind of tagging along with that, number 2 is makeup. And of course, if I'm out of something, then I will be able to go and repurchase it. If it's like a daily product, like for example, brow pencils, I feel like you go through those really quickly, and I usually only have one at a time. I think on that case, like that's an intentional buy for me. However, I do want to try and use up all of my lip products, my cheek blush kind of highlighter products that I still have that I'm working through. I think mascara, again, is kind of one of those that like maybe can expire before you exactly use it all up. I'm definitely one to use my mascara probably past its prime, but just kind of being more mindful of like trying to use it up before purchasing a backup in my case, because I tend to like to purchase backups of beauty products. So trying not to purchase backups, using what I have probably will be more of an intentional buy, because there's obviously products that will be like used up, like eyebrow pencils, but not buying like another blush, another lip product, another highlighter or something like that that I already have and that I need to use up. And kind of jumping into the theme of like beauty and skincare, the third thing that I will not be purchasing in 2025 is nails, brows, and eyelash treatments. I feel like the beauty industry can definitely be a slippery slope because of the maintenance and upkeep of these things. So I've learned to dye my brows at home. It's not like I'm a professional. I'm not good at doing it, but you know what? It does the job. I feel like you can look up so many YouTube types of tutorials. There's products that you can get to do these things at home. I obviously don't do my nails that often, but if I do, it's like a press-on nail for a very special occasion, but typically I just like don't do them. I do them at home, like a very basic manicure, and that's pretty much it. So this is something that I haven't really purchased a lot in the past, but definitely don't plan on purchasing in 2025. I feel like this one might be a little bit of an easier one for me to kind of get on board with, since it's not something I spend a lot on. I feel like just the temptation of, oh, I could just like go get a manicure or go get my nails done or just like a $15 brow tint doesn't seem like that much, but I feel like it adds up because you have to do it so often. For me, I feel like that money can be put elsewhere. All right, next category of my low buy / intentional buy is hair care products and tools. Again, I have so many hair care products underneath my sink in my bathroom that it is not even funny. I really need to use those up before I go out and purchase more. Specifically shampoo and conditioners. I feel like I get bored of shampoo and conditioner and I just like have to like switch it up. Like I feel like my hair gets bored of it and like switching it up helps it, but that has led to having too many half open bottles of shampoo and conditioner and just like hair treatments, hair masks, things like that I need to use up. I have like several bottles of heat protectants, dry shampoos, so really trying to use all of those items up first before I go out and repurchase things in my hair care routine. Another thing that I really love about 2025 is I feel like people are going back to drugstore and more affordable hair care brands. I feel like there was a movement, I don't know what, 2019, 2020-ish maybe, for like more luxury hair products that, you know, all drugstore products were bad, it's bad for your hair, but now there's more like evidence and research coming out that's saying, you know, that's not true. Now I will say not all drugstore products are created equal, so there are some not great ones, but there are some really good ones on the market now, and I love that we're kind of shifting back to that. So even if I do finish up my, you know, shampoos and conditioners and things, I want to maybe switch back to the more affordable, like not really salon brands, and try and save some money that way too, because I think there are some really good options. Something to be, again, intentional about is like doing my research on products and where I'm spending my money, what is worth the splurge versus what's not. If a hair care product really works for me and I absolutely love it, then maybe I'll repurchase it at kind of that luxury price versus other things that, you know, maybe it's just as good at the drugstore kind of thing. So definitely something I want to try and keep in mind for 2025. All right, next on my list for my low buy / no buy, I want to cut back on getting coffee and tea out. Now, I personally don't drink coffee, so I feel like this one's a little bit unfair on that front, but I do drink a lot of tea, and I feel like while in the winter, I'm like really good about making that at home. In the summer, sometimes I'm tempted to go to Starbucks and get a little refresher or an iced tea as like a treat, but I really want to cut back on that and start making more of these things at home. Again, iced tea I feel like can be really simple to make at home. Sometimes I just don't want to like put in the effort, or just having like fun drinks like, I don't know, refresher. You can like make refresher dupes at home, I feel like now. For me, just resisting kind of that temptation to go out. Bubble tea is also a big one for me. I love bubble tea, and kind of the like tapiocas and all the toppings and stuff. You can buy those at the Asian grocery stores, and I feel like making those at home is obviously going to save a lot of money because they are pretty expensive now. They can be like $7-8, which they used to be like $5 or $6, which was kind of the same as like a Starbucks latte or something. But now I feel like it's kind of getting too pricey that I just want to kind of cut back and not get them out unless it's like a super special occasion. The other kind of exception to this, if it was like a social occasion, like if I'm going to go get coffee with a friend, if I'm meeting a friend, if it's like a business purpose that we're going for coffee, then okay, sure. That I feel like is something separate, but day to day, I feel like making it at home. Honestly, I feel like I make a better cup of tea at home now than most like restaurants, fast foods and stuff. So just making more at home and being more mindful about spending on like fun beverage treats while I'm out. Next up on my no buy, low buy list is lotion, soaps, and perfumes. Oh my goodness, I have way too many of these things. I do like to switch out seasonal scents, I will say that. So I do have a nice little stockpile of like sweet cinnamon pumpkin and winter candy apple from Bath and Body Works for like the fall and winter. Now I'm less picky in the spring and summer. I feel like it doesn't have like a signature scent. Usually I'll go for something like more coconutty in the summer, but I do have a lot of lotions and soaps and things that I need to use up, and perfumes. I have a lot of perfumes. I feel like those just kind of stack up. I'm so bad at finishing perfumes before they go bad, so really want to try and be mindful again about using everything up that I have before purchasing new items. That's kind of, again, more on the low buy side. Hopefully I'm able just to use everything up, and maybe it is a no buy for the entire year, but at least, like at minimum, I want to ensure that I'm using up all of my products and they are all gone before I purchase a new one. And same goes for like not purchasing backups and things like that. All right, the next item on my list is the only clothing related item I feel like that I have on this list. So that is coats, jackets, and outerwear, because I have so many jackets, so many jacket options, and a lot of coats that I don't even wear throughout the season that I probably need to get rid of and donate. But there's just like so many jackets. Our closet is filled downstairs in the front hall closet where we keep all of our outerwear that I just don't need anymore. I feel like I have a jacket for every season and I just don't need to buy anymore. So that's definitely on my no buy list. I mean, unless something happened to like my winter jacket per se, but I don't see that happening. So very likely a no buy for any types of coats, outerwears, and jackets. And then I guess kind of similar on that line is jewelry, accessories, and bags. Now, I'm not really a person who buys a lot of jewelry, wears a lot of jewelry, so I have enough. I have like a good selection of jewelry that I really don't need anything else. So I feel like that's probably a little bit of an easier no buy for me. There's just like nothing that I feel like I need. And then the accessories, like again, I don't know. I have a belt in black and brown. I don't really know what other kind of accessories. I have prescription sunglasses, so it's not like I'm buying new sunglasses or hats or anything. Usually on the yearly, but again, just like not falling into trends. I feel like that's kind of the biggest one. Again, being on social media, obviously consuming a lot of content, just not trying to fall into, you know, trends of accessories. And I feel like that's like a really small thing to kind of purchase throughout the year, that it doesn't like seem like a big purchase, but can add up for sure. And obviously bags, I literally use the diaper bag and my dual pouch wristlet from Lululemon, and that's pretty much it. I definitely do not need any other sort of bags and things like that. I have so many in the closet that they're just taking up space. And moving on to the next thing that I want to no buy / low buy is books. Now personally, I don't do a lot of reading unless it's to my toddler, but we do like to read to him and get him lots of books and things like that. And now we do a pretty good job of trying to find like books on more of a bargain at like HomeSense, Winners. They have really good deals on books. Instead of buying from like, you know, the bookstore, we have Chapter / Indigo here. Barnes and Noble is pretty similar in the States, but just trying to find more like discount books. But I really want to utilize the library more. It is free and they obviously have so many books. Of course we wouldn't own them, but I feel like it's really good also for a book rotation for my toddler, because obviously you don't have to keep them, you don't have to store them somewhere. They get to go back to the library and then you get to get new ones, and I feel like that's also a really great outing. So definitely a goal to use the library more and not buy as many books, because they do take up a lot of space, I feel like, and it's nice to have a book rotation. So we have a lot of books. I feel like borrowing books is so much better than buying books. So that is something I want to try and challenge myself to low buy / intentional buy for him. Of course, we're still going to buy books. I'm not going to cut that off completely, but just kind of cut back and utilize the library a little bit more. And finally, the very last thing on my no buy list is alcohol. Now, I don't drink since I had my toddler almost 2 years ago, and I feel like it has been something very easy to keep up with, just like not drinking at all. I feel like I like the thought of drinking and alcohol, but in reality, I just don't really like it. I don't like any aspect of it. So I definitely want to keep on that train, and I feel like it saves a lot of money. It's really expensive when you think of it, even like at a social occasion, just to like go buy, I don't know, coolers or a bottle of wine or something. The only exception to this is that we do sometimes get wine to cook with. Like we'll put wine in like spaghetti sauce or a pot roast, or white wine on like a chicken dinner and like the gravy or something, and like it obviously cooks off the alcohol, but we still like buy wine for cooking purposes. That's the only time I'll buy like alcohol. But for like regular consumption, that's definitely something that is going to be a no buy for me, because I just don't really like it and I don't need it. So that is the end of my list of 10 things that I want to no buy / low buy for 2025. I know like home decor and clothing was another big like no buy kind of push for people, but for me, we obviously just moved into this house last year. The walls are still empty. I'm pretty sure home decor is going to be on the list of buying throughout the year, because I feel like I just really want to make this house a home. I've never been able to do that since we've always rented, and I feel like this is our kind of time to really make this homey and the space feel welcoming and just ours. So I definitely still plan to purchase home decor, although we've taken our time to really like decide on things and decorate very slowly, so I don't feel like I'm going to be going out and spending a ton of money here or there. And again, like seasonal decors, we have a little bit for Christmas, and I think that's like the most we have for seasonal decors, but I definitely want to get other types of, you know, holiday decors, maybe not like Valentine's Day or like St. Patrick's Day, but like Easter, kind of fall decor in general, and then like Christmas decorations and Halloween. I think because we have a toddler, I just want to make it also special, and I really loved kind of the magical feeling around those types of holidays when it's like all decorated and it's cute and things like that. So, you know, picking up a few things here and there I think is still going to be on the list. And secondly, clothing. Obviously I do a lot of fashion videos, especially around Lululemon, so I do plan on obviously buying clothes for that purpose of reviewing for you guys. But I think adding to my closet personally, I'm going to be a lot more mindful about what I have in my closet, what I'm styling with it, and if I don't love it, then returning it. Definitely more of an intentional spend there, but of course still buying clothes because that is my job here on YouTube. So don't worry, clothing hauls are not going anywhere. But that's pretty much sums up my intentional low buy, no buy year. I hope you guys found this video entertaining. It definitely helped me reflect on some of my spending from 2024 and what I want to use up, kind of like project pan slash be more intentional about buying in 2025, because I feel like stuff just kind of accumulates so quickly, and I love the movement of Project Pan coming back. I know that that was like a big thing 2014 YouTube, so I definitely want to do like empties videos for you guys so that I can like review products still, what I liked, what I would repurchase, what I wouldn't repurchase. So if you want to stay tuned for those, then be sure to subscribe, but leave me a comment down below on something that you may be looking to low buy, intentionally buy, or even no buy for 2025. I'm super curious to see what everyone else is kind of planning for 2025. It's definitely no secret that cost of living is rising. Groceries, utilities, rent, etc. is getting a lot more expensive. So just kind of making more intentional and mindful spending and budgeting, I feel like, is definitely the move for 2025. So I'm really excited to kind of take on this challenge and see how it ends up at the end of the year. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!